Will Deadpool and Wolverine save the MCU? Before I answer that question, he's going to talk for a long time, isn't it? Well, to make it short, no. It won't save the MCU at all. That just can't fucking happen. Um, this is similar, very similar to the Spider-Man No Way Home situation, where that one movie came out and it did well, to the point where it sold incredibly well. It made like $1 billion, and it had so much nostalgia bait in it that so many people foregoed a lot of the dumb Disney writing to allow just basically to see Toby and Andrew on the big screen again wearing Spider-Man costumes. But much like that scenario, just because you have one good egg doesn't mean that the whole bunch isn't rotten. You have to remember, despite the fact that yes, this Deadpool movie for the most part should, well, it will do incredibly well, and it should be handled uh, well. It should be handled good. That doesn't mean that Disney is going to fix all of the proverbial mess ups that they've been doing all this time. Let us not forget, they've already released and announced the other movies that they're going to make. The timeline crap that they still hold themselves accountable to is still relevant. They're still trying to figure out what to do with Blade. They're still doing reshoots for the next Captain America movie. They just thought about getting rid of She-Hulk and a whole bunch of other characters out of the Captain America movie, despite the fact that people have told them that the She-Hulk show was just garbage before it even appeared on, before they even showed it on Disney Plus. These people learn absolutely no lessons. I mean, we've had literally Bob Iger being ousted on a freaking video call with the other former CEO of Disney, where they just kept patting themselves on the back with how much they've done for diversity, even though all they've done is just shoehorn in a bunch of characters that were diverse, but they didn't give any content that basically was memorable. It you still got the inmates running the asylum, and it's like, just because this one movie is going to come out doesn't mean it's going to change anything. Deadpool isn't going to be the movie that essentially fix all the holes within Disney. Remember, during the acquisition of Fox, they actually, like, you can look this up, they actually had Deadpool 2 remove a joke that they were going to use about Disney out of that movie. And Deadpool 2 was possibly one of the greatest comic book movies that ever existed. But they had a character that's known for breaking the fourth wall, known for talking and stuff, and saying things, remove a joke simply because of the fact that it's like, we don't want to upset Disney. And even upon seeing the trailer for the Deadpool movie, you notice it has the 20th Century Fox logo buried in the sand. I I truly believe that this movie essentially, like, I saw the trailer. I saw the trailer, and like a lot of people, and it's like, yeah, I really don't have any misgivings from the trailer that like the little trailer that they had. But I it'd be ridiculous for me to assume that, oh, because of that one thing, because of that trailer, I would assume that everything's just going to be all hunky dory. No, it's still the MCU. They still fuck up branding. They still take characters and basically put them in the MCU when they're no longer exactly what the characters are supposed to be. So, I mean, again, they totally destroyed Spider-Man. So why would I feel that they would do Deadpool any differently? Disney likes to keep themselves towards a brand standard, but at the same time, they don't understand what it is that they have. I mean, what was it like? They were fighting tooth and nail just to not have Blade be rated R, but it should be rated R. And then they dug even deeper and was like, the Blade movie isn't even about Blade. It's going to be about like three chicks, and he's going to be the fourth main character. Good Lord. It's went through like what, two directors and a bunch of different script writes, and it's still not done, but it's supposed to come out next year. Ugh. Again, these people are the ones that are in charge of the Deadpool movie. They don't have the director from Deadpool 2 or the director from Deadpool 1, but instead they got the director from Free Guy. Remember Free Guy? Exactly. He's doing this. Does that mean that, like, like there's some hope that this would possibly be good? Not really. Free Guy wasn't that action packed of a movie. It wasn't that memorable when it came to dialogue, nor was the direction anything that stood out, unlike the first Deadpool or Deadpool 2. So, again, it it would make sense to still have a sense of optimism that, hey, this still might come out, come out ahead and actually be a worthwhile movie. You do have Hugh Jackman, you do have Ryan Reynolds, you do have them basically referencing and talking about the Fox movies, which should be funny in their own right. But at the same time, I feel that you're going to have Ryan Reynolds basically puff up a lot of smoke up Disney's ass to try and make it seem like the MCU is perfect. They're going to avoid all of the major issues that they have been doing and been making within the MCU in order to make themselves feel better about acquiring Fox and then kind of putting down those movies while elevating themselves. This isn't It's not like Disney hasn't done this before in other properties or projects, so why would you feel that this would be anything different? Like I said, this isn't going to save the MCU, but it is going to be a movie that is going to do very well, that will probably shape how they're tackling movies from hereafter. I would think you probably won't see an abundance of Deadpool and stuff, but we are starting to get a slow change in terms of them handling these properties, like a little bit better. But the thing is that that's not a good thing. It's not a good thing because they're like negative 1,000, and just because they add one good point for like casting the Fantastic Four with an all-white cast, which is who the Fantastic Four is supposed to be played by, that's still 1 point towards the negative 1,000. So now they're at negative 999. Does that mean that the Fantastic Four script is going to be good? Are they going to tackle Doom the way that Doom is supposed to be handled? No, none of those things are guarantees, let alone will anything that they actually do with the characters will be a good representation of those characters or fit within the MCU world as a whole, considering the fact that they refuse to just restart everything. Hell, one of the next Avengers movies is going to be about Kang. It's literally called the Kang Dynasty. They announced that name. Can they change it? Yeah, they can. I mean, remember Infinity War used to be Infinity War Part 1 and Infinity War Part 2, but then it became Endgame because of a line that Iron Man says in Infinity War, "We're now at the Endgame." And then they made that the subheading. So stupid. And that's why Endgame sucks. That's the whole reason. That's the only reason Endgame sucks. It's not the rest of it. 2.5 hours of basically depression porn with a 30-minute fight scene that's just kind of a clusterfuck of stupid. Nah. It was the name. That's what did it. Or Thor being fat. That also is what made Endgame bad. But I feel as though that, yeah, the Deadpool movie will be, worthwhile. It'll be cool to see, again, Hugh Jackman reprise his role as Wolverine. Yeah, Logan ended his character perfectly, but you probably shouldn't go in thinking that this movie is like a good representation of Wolverine, or that it would actually, or cares to do justice towards the character, or that this basically infringes on that ending. It was a farewell to the character that is Logan and Wolverine, and they're willing to basically dig up its grave so they can make a couple of bucks. It's Disney. Yeah, they'll do that, but that doesn't mean that the Logan movie is now bad or that it doesn't matter. No, that's a fantastic and great movie. Hell, I still look at The Dark Knight regardless of the fact that how much I can't stand Batman Begins or the character that is Rachel. But I still love The Dark Knight movie. Hell, I watched it last night. It's a great movie. Yeah, I don't like Batman Returns, but whatever. I still love The Dark Knight. So I feel the same way about what's happening with Daredevil, happening with Deadpool and Wolverine. And it's gonna be like, yeah, he's gonna wear the suit. We're gonna make some jokes. Hell, I've seen some of the leaks and stuff, so it's like, yeah, I pretty much expect it to go in this realm, but because of Disney and their current heading when it comes towards the MCU and how they've been on this track record of pumping out shit or having shitty content or basically making things not make any sense, I feel you should just go into the Deadpool movie with a bit of optimism. Don't expect this thing to basically make everything else make sense. Hell, it automatically jumped up with the TVA, but it's like you're not going to have Owen Wilson's character talking to him or Loki involved, so you're really gonna have a weird time trying to place exactly where it fits in within Marvel because the TVA already screws that up by being the time traveling people that they are. Whatever. Hell, or why would they even mess with Deadpool considering that he's not even a part of the. See, you see what I'm saying? Deadpool's world and universe isn't even a part of the MCU, and if anything, you could say that he's just a fragmented universe, which again is an okay thing to have because of how Loki second season ended. But whatever, you know, it's just whatever. So yeah, I feel like going in being optimistic about this movie, pointing out its major flaws, which they're gonna have an abundance of, but still kind of having fun with this one would be the general take I would have just to try and have fun. But at this point in time, if you want an MCU movie to try and clarify and bring together the rest of the MCU movie so that they're finally understandable, you're never going to get that. That's never going to happen. Not with this movie, not with any hereafter. You're going to continue to have the holes, the stupid concepts, the terrible renditions of characters, the horrible track record of copying the wrong shit from the comic books. You're going to keep having that because the inmates are running the asylums. The terrible people are the ones that are in charge, and they're slowly understanding that this shit don't make money. And all they needed to do to make money was just do right by what it is that they have. But they don't understand what they have, so they're going to continue to make what they make. And that's really all I want to talk about. So, yeah, best believe I'm going to go see Deadpool Wolverine movie. I do believe I'm going to laugh at a bunch of stuff, but for the most part, I feel that it will not be, it's going to be incomprehensible towards actually doing justice for the MCU or making anything make sense. It's not anything that needs to be overanalyzed. It's not anything that you should even worry or care about because at this point in time, the franchise that was the MCU has long since fucking died. Now it's like, get your enjoyment when you can, when you wanna. Otherwise, you know, it's perfectly fine and logical to skip shit like Echo, She-Hulk, Loki, WandaVision. These things don't matter anymore. So, you know, enjoy what you want to enjoy, watch what you want to watch, and just kind of go on about your business. But more than anything, hey, stop giving them money, and they'll stop making shit. Because best believe, when I see this, you know, I probably won't pay for it. You know, not saying how, but probably won't. Not saying how, but probably won't. Let's leave it at that. Yeah, that's it.